Who will join the Avengers in Marvel's Phase 6? Folks, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is in dire need of superheroes, but not just any heroes. We're getting plenty of questionable costumed characters in shows like She-Hulk. We need Earth's mightiest heroes, but the next time the Avengers actually assemble isn't until the end of Phase 6 in 2025. Marvel's #1 super team will re-enter the limelight in a pair of back-to-back movies, Avengers The Kang Dynasty, directed by Shang-Chi's Daniel Destin Cretton in May 2025, and Avengers Secret Wars in November 2025. That means not only is our Kang watch at its highest levels in history, but the Avengers need all the help they can get. While we fully expect an all-hands-on-deck situation a la Endgame, the core group of Avengers will likely be very different from what we saw at the end of the Infinity Saga.
Has it got a name?
It's called the Revengers.
Revengers?
So who will assemble under the Avengers banner in the Multiverse Saga? We have some thoughts, and if you prefer to read all about it, Mikey Walsh has you covered over on Nerdist.com. But if you prefer to live firmly in the present, now's your last chance to leave before we get lost in the sauce.
I have been falling for 30 minutes!
You can handle it from here.
Okay, let's get into it, shall we? First and foremost, the biggest threat of the Multiverse Saga is obviously Kang the Conqueror, hence the Kang Watch. And as Loki so eloquently put it in the Season 1 finale of his eponymous show, we freed the timeline, we found him beyond the storm, a citadel at the end of time. He's terrifying, he planned everything, he's seen everything, he knows everything, it's complicated, okay? But someone is coming, countless different versions of a very dangerous person, and they're all set on war.
What?
During San Diego Comic-Con, Kang appeared in the very first look at Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, where his response to Scott Lang being an Avenger was, "You're an Avenger? Have I killed you before? Clearly he's a deadly guy."
This is wild.
Now, we've seen what Wanda Maximoff did to the Illuminati and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, so with that in mind, we need a team of heroes that are durable, inventive, and adept at dealing with multiversal threats, but maybe not quite so arrogant as those jokers from Earth 838. Let's start with Captain Marvel. While Wanda Maximoff is arguably the most powerful Avenger, she's currently off doing some serious soul-searching beneath the rubble of Mount Wundagore. Carol is one of the strongest people in the entire MCU. She held her own against Thanos in Avengers Endgame. With her experience fighting extinction-level threats across the universe, she seems like an obvious choice to join and potentially even lead this super team.
You can get my number from Bruce. It was so nice to meet you.
Yeah, I don't have her number.
Doctor Strange. As anyone who's read the comics can tell you, Secret Wars is all about incursions and the death of the multiverse. So who better than the man with the most experience meddling with the multiverse and causing incursions than Doctor Strange? The MCU's resident master of the mystic arts used timeline tomfoolery to take down Thanos before, so maybe that will help with conquering someone like Kang, who likely has seen just as many timelines as Doctor Strange himself. Thor. Of the original 6 members of the Avengers, Thor Odin's son seems to be doing better than ever. Not only does he have a newfound purpose in life after the events of Thor Love and Thunder, but he might well be Earth's mightiest hero at the moment. He's certainly the strongest Avenger, at least according to his hat, and you can't just lie on a hat, right? Anyway, with Kang acting like a god, it may take an actual god to knock him down a peg or two.
Well, as they say, better late than not at all.
She-Hulk. While Hulk smashing Loki in Avengers is one of the single most iconic moments in MCU history, this time I could see Jennifer Walters joining the fray instead of her cousin Bruce. After all, she was a major member of the Avengers in the comics. So does this mean that Bruce Banner's days are numbered? Well, I could certainly see Kang killing him, and that would definitely make Jen very angry. And take it from her.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
AntMan. Although Scott Lang seems to spend more time podcasting and writing memoirs than crime fighting nowadays, he will be our first post-Loki point of contact with Kang the Conqueror in Quantumania. And just as Scott proved to be a major asset in Avengers Endgame, his first-hand experience with Kang and the Quantum Realm make him a must-have for this team. And just like fighting Thanos when it comes to having Ant-Man on your team, there are no buts about it. Wasp. While Scott Lang is adept at coming up with out-of-the-box solutions, the true brains of that operation is Hope Van Dyne. As an OG Avenger in the comics and someone who will have first-hand experience against Kang and Quantumania, she will prove invaluable in the Multiverse Saga's biggest battles. Captain America. Folks, America has a new captain and a new ass in Sam Wilson. Just as Steve Rogers was the gooey moral center inside the Avengers candy-coated shell, Sam can be the strong moral compass to ensure that this team always does what's right. And with his first standalone film, Captain America New World Order, debuting a year prior, this would be the perfect next step for our brand new Captain America. Black Panther. Okay, look, we know the question of who will fill T'Challa's soundproof shoes is the subject of heated debate. We even made a video ourselves about this very question. But for the sake of argument, let's assume that Shuri takes on the mantle as she does in the comics. With Tony Stark sadly 6 feet under, the Avengers are down one super genius. So who better to join with both brains and brawn than Shuri as Black Panther?
Exhibit A.
Wakanda already saved the day in Avengers Endgame, so chances are they'll join the fight again in Phase 6, especially if Black Panther is a prominent member of the team. Shang-Chi. The MCU's martial arts master proved he can kick all kinds of ass. Normal, supernatural, and parental. Plus, his 10 rings could be the Shang-Chi to Phase 6. As we saw in the post-credit scene, they're acting as a beacon for something outside the bounds of our universe. Mostly, I just want an excuse to see him grow to the size of a kaiju like in this panel from the comics. Kevin Feige, please, make this happen. I don't ask you for much, but I need this. As for the remaining characters in the MCU, there are plenty of viable choices like Monica Rambeau, who could join this team as Spectrum like in the comics thanks to her newfound powers after WandaVision. As for Wanda and Vision, they could also join the fray by the time of Secret Wars, but they seem to be busy between the Multiverse of Madness ending and pondering the ship of Theseus. Next up, there's Hawkeye, another OG Avenger, but he probably isn't leaving the family farm anytime soon. As for Spider-Man, well, that's up to Sony. If they let Tom Holland play with the rest of Marvel again, the wall crawler could swing his way back into the MCU to make our bones turn to dust by asking about even more classic movies.
Hey guys, you ever seen that really old movie? Empire Strikes Back?
Now, you may notice we omitted certain characters like Ms. Marvel, Kate Bishop, and Ironheart, and that's because I fully expect Marvel's younger generation of heroes to form the Young Avengers in Phase 6. With others like Eli Bradley introduced in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Cassie Lang in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, Speed and Wiccan debuting in WandaVision, and America Chavez in Multiverse of Madness, Marvel is clearly laying the groundwork for a Young Avengers team. All we need now is Hulkling to join the group in Secret Invasion or the Marvels, and maybe we'll even get a young Kang variant to take on a similar role to Iron Lad in the comics. Anyway, folks, there you have it. Those are our best guesses for who's going to be on the Avengers in Phase 6. Now, we have plenty of time to think it over, and thankfully we'll keep on overthinking all things Marvel in the meantime over on Nerdist.com. For now, though, tell us, what did you think of Marvel's Hall H announcements? Who do you think is going to be on the Avengers in Phase 6, and why?
There's an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man?
Let us know in the comments below, and for the latest and greatest in the world of pop culture, make sure you stay tuned to Nerdist.com.